what I see. And if you subscribe to my YouTube, there's a video on there called Medium Clarifies Drug Overdose. And it's actually, like, at the beginning I'm eating chips, which was supposed to be edited out, but it's like AMSR, because I'm fucking eating chips, and it's like... but after that part, anyways...
Chicks dig that. No, that's cool.
We do.
I think it's kind of funny, because I'm eating these popcorn chips. But after that part, there's a girl in my beam, and she's not showing her face. It's all black. Mm-hmm. But I can hear her talk. And if you watch the video, then you could see my gift. And she was confused about this individual. She don't tell me anything. At one point, she tries to speak, but I cut her off because I knew she was trying to say something that I did not want to hear, because I wanted her to know how real it is, what's going on, you know?
Yeah.
She tried to give me information, but I let them know ahead of time, I'm going to ask a series of questions. You need to answer yes or no, and I don't want you to say anything else unless I ask you, because I'm confused, because it's like a puzzle with information. Like, especially if I'm in a beam, I'm getting an influx of energy, and I don't know who the messages are for that are coming through. So, but if you can watch that video, and you probably enjoy it if you're interested in that. And I'll do I don't charge. So that's why I say, I kind of laugh, and no offense to anyone in here, if y'all do tarot cards, I do what you do without tarot cards, okay? So, and I don't charge, so keep your tarot cards. As much as I think those are fine and helping, aiding in advice, I feel like all the people who do them, they have the gift to do what I can do. They're just not using it, and they need to tap into it. They need to use their clairvoyance to know that information on that card is already there. It's just that card is aiding them in what they do.
Let me ask you one question. When did you realize that you had this connection to, the other side?
I'll tell you when I figured out that I was a medium.
Yeah.
There was an incident that had happened. There was two things that had happened, and I didn't understand what was going on. My brother died when he was 24 in 2005. Mm-hmm. That has nothing to do with it. I believe maybe somehow he gave me this gift, but what I'm going to tell you is that about 2 years ago, I was at a friend's house where my girlfriend, who's in heaven, her sister dates a guy that I'm friends with. And I went over there for whatever reason. And when he came outside, he opened the front door of his house. Now, my girlfriend's sister dates him. She's dead, my girlfriend. Mm-hmm. When he opened that door, I felt something that I couldn't explain, which was an influx of feeling of sadness. Because I'm clair empathy as well. There's different clairs. So you're clairvoyant, clair sense, clair taste, clair empathy. And I started to cry. But I wasn't sad myself. I felt sadness, and I didn't know where it came from. So I thought that was strange, and he was like, yo, you all right? And I'm like, yo, honestly, I'm fine, but I don't understand what's going on. I don't know. Then, so that's the first thing that had happened. Then we'll fast forward till July. I signed up in the app in July. I meet a girl. I'm with her for 2 days. She's taking care of an older guy that's a friend of hers. He's 90. I don't meet him, but he's not sick. He's just old. And I'm going to fly. Thank you for those gifts, man. Much respect. Much respect. I'm going to fly back to New York the following day. So she's a broadcaster on the app. I never saw her broadcast, but I go and meet her. When I got home, I felt like I needed to tell her something, but I didn't know if I should tell her, because I'm like, should I tell this person this? It's not something you really tell somebody, which is, I know this person's going to die imminently. They're going to die, within, hours, or at least the next day. The guy's going to die. I don't know why, but he's going to die. So I tell her, hey, the guy Joe you're taking care of, he's going to die. And when I say that, he's going to die, within the next day or two. And she's like, no way, he's super strong. There's nothing wrong with him. I'm like, all right, whatever. I don't know. the next day, she feeds him breakfast, lunch, and dinner. She texts me, I'm at Joe's house. And I said to her, she goes, he's not feeling well. My exact message to her was, I told you you don't want to know what I know. Now she writes, Joe just passed out. A 2-minute break goes by. She writes, Joe passed away. Now at this point, I'm like, what the fuck, yo? Like, how could I have known this dude was going to die? He wasn't sick. He wasn't in the hospital. Like, how could I have known this? Like, so I start to think, like, all right, like, I believe I have a gift. Like, I already knew I had a gift, kind of, but I wasn't sure what it was or how to use it. But I realized at that point, like, kind of how to start to figure it out. And by using this app, I met a medium, and the first reading I ever did was that I felt drawn to this broadcaster. Her name is WFSG Wifey, something like that. Love is the level 89, 84, 79, something like that. I felt drawn to her broadcast at SFG Wifey. So I went to her broadcast and I was like, I need to talk to you. You don't know who I am, but I need to ask you some questions. I just want you to answer yes or no. I don't know why I was drawn to her. And what it was is I needed to let her know that there was somebody coming to me by the name of Steven, which was spelled Phen, that either is her boyfriend or ex-husband that's on the other side, and they're like to give you information, and they're giving it to me to give to you. And I was able to tell her like stuff about him, about how he DJ'd. I was able to tell her there's a photo in her house that I know that she has one picture of him, and he's wearing a hat. And she's like, it's funny because I only have one picture of him, and and I said, there's a girl in this photo, and I don't know who it is, if it's you or his sister or who. And it turns out that it was his daughter.
Thank you.
And my description of what I tell her is basically on point. It's a picture of him, his daughter, and he's wearing a baseball hat, just as I saw it. So at that point, I realized, like, okay, I have this gift and I'm going to develop it. And I started to work on understanding about the whole thing when we say, and everyone has the gift about, oh, it's my gut instinct. There is no gut instinct. There's no such thing as that. That gut instinct, that's the energy and the spirit, like energy of people or maybe your spirit guide aiding you. Have you ever like felt like, hey, something's gonna happen and the situation's not gonna be good? Like, yo, my gut instinct tells me like this person, something's gonna, and it turns out that it does. That's the gift working, and you not knowing that we all have the capability of using the gift, but it's a matter of putting it to use or not using it. So the app enabled me to develop my gift, and that's how I got to where I am now, where now essentially if somebody comes to me, I could work with them. And I watched someone who's clairvoyant and listen to what they said because I was confused. I couldn't figure out that when I get information, am I fabricating this information as a dream? Like, in my mind, am I making up that this is what it is? Or is what I'm being shown really real? And what I heard her say was, go with what you see first. And know and trust that the first image or words that you are shown are correct. And since then, I've trusted that. And I'll never say that I'm 100% comfortable and I'm 100% right. I've always have been right, but I'm always nervous. And it taught me to appreciate the information that I'm given and to use it. Because the moment you second guess yourself, your mind is going to start to think of something else. So if I second guess that, you lost your husband, and I second guess that moment that I second guess that, I start to think, am I fabricating something in my head? So I realized, don't second guess what I'm being shown. Go with what I'm being shown. So I know for a fact that you lost somebody close to you. I know that you want to communicate with this person because it's you obviously have suffered grief.